Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We are here with another Alliance War video, and today ISO8A is actually going to be matching ASR, which is really fun. This is the first time I've faced my old Alliance in Season 4. I have faced them in the off-season before, and they've got a lot of new faces, obviously, but a lot of people I recognize, so it was nice to see them. And today we're kind of going back to using our normal champions. So far, war number 1, I used Magneto, which was, a little weird. And in war number 2, I used Kingpin, which was just cringe. But yeah, we are going to be joining with the team of Doom, Moleman, and Warlock. So Doom and Warlock are champs I've used in Alliance War for a while, and Moleman is a new one, but he is one of my main champions, so that does make sense. And none of them benefit from the power down, but I'm just gonna trigger it anyways because why not? And we are going to be on Path 5, Section 1, and Section 2, we are going to be on Path 4, which is the path that I took in the first war. So, first up is this Hulk. We're going to be using Moleman, and I choose to use one of the 30% boosts, because you're given one like almost every, I think it's second week, from the milestones. And I'd rather use one of these than two 30% green boosts that only lasts an hour, because I know I couldn't get all my fights done in that time. And this fight, I wouldn't say it was misplayed. I would just say that it could have been played better. At one point, I should have activated my Frenzy, and I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. And it's just going to go on in unnecessarily long. Ideally played, this fight takes like, I don't know, 60% of the time that it took me. So it's like, it's not great, but it's not that bad. And then there, I thought I threw my L1 while it would activate, or sorry, I thought I threw my heavy attack while it would knock him down and remove the protection, but turns out I was just a fraction of a second early, so that didn't happen. And then here we are going to throw our L2. Right there, I dexed that hit. What I should have done is I should have blocked the hit, done one hit, and then thrown the L2. I don't know why. Also, you're going to notice in this fight that I bait his L2. Personally, I consider Hulk's L2 to be considerably easier to bait out than his L1. Not just bait out, but I just prefer baiting it out. Obviously, the L1 is easier to evade, but I find the L2 more convenient to bait out because it drains double the power and it's equally easy to evade, in my opinion. So, yeah, you're going to see in this fight, although he does throw like, I think, 1 or 2 special ones, I think it's mostly L2s, which is really nice. And there we trigger the immortality, so I'm just going to bait this L2. He's nice and he throws it. We just get that double dex in. And I was watching the timer so that I didn't hit him while I would have missed. It's a little weird mechanic. Like, he doesn't have miss in his abilities, but your hits still miss while he is healing from the immortality. And we take him down. So pretty nice fight. And next up, we have the Rank 4 Showdown. Rank 4 Doom versus Rank 4 Hercules. And this is actually not a bad placement, because when you knock him down, he gets one of his stun immune charges and like the feats of strength. And this node has heavy hitter. So once you land that parry, if he doesn't go for a second hit allowing you to reparry, just like right there, he can go for a heavy attack. And he is unstoppable, and you just have to wait it out. Now, it doesn't have the downside of other champs like Nick Fury, where they go permanently stun immune, so just landing a parry does remove it, which is really not a big deal. which is actually quite nice. So there we remove it again. And the benefit to this node, it does not have any type of debuff immunity or anything. So when I throw this L2, I'm going to get a lot of incinerate damage. Those are taking over 1200 and there's 3 of them. So that really did a lot of damage, especially with the Fury. Bait out an L2 here, and we do have the Infuriate, which means that we're not going to be getting all of our shocks all the time. Yeah, just a little bit annoying, but it's not really that big of a deal. And then right here, I forgot that he had that charge from when I threw my L2. So when I went to charge that heavy, he actually was stun immune, obviously. But it's not really going to matter in this fight. I mean, the fight's almost over. At this point, all I really need to do is throw my special 3. And what I did before I threw my special 3 was I made sure I have a stagger up. Because if you guys don't know the way that Herc works, if you have a stagger on him when you inflict a killing blow, his sig ability, invulnerability, whatever it's called, immortality, just never triggers because it is an active buff. So what I did is, even though he still would have had it because he had a stagger on him, you just completely bypass it. And you might think that the way it works would be, oh, he survives at 1 health, and maybe he hits you with an L3. I mean, it might sound like it, but I'm familiar with the matchup, so I did know that inflicting a stagger just kills him. It has nothing to do with Assassin. That's just the way that his abilities work. Next up, this is our only Warlock fight. We have Warlock versus Domino on Footloose, and this guy did place without willpower, so it's going to be mildly annoying. Obviously, Ghost is massively better for this fight. Ghost is objectively the best counter, and no one is close. So here we throw an L2, but because I did not have an infection up, we do not inflict armor breaks on the first part of the L2, which means that it's going to do a lot less damage, and it only gave us back about 65%, like 2/3 of a bar of power with our tech boost, whereas our next one's going to give us back like 1.5 bars of power because we already had an infection up. So here she's not going to throw the L1, but I'm just going to do my little medium counter, and she does throw it here, so we go in for the spacing. And right here, really all I need is for her to not trigger evade on this one, and she doesn't, which allows me to get my L2 with the armor breaks, inflict a second set of armor breaks, one of which fails, and then we throw our L1 to kill. So really nice fight. I basically could not ask that. I could not have asked for that to have gone better. And we'll go on to our section 2, where we are on path 4, and I have this Spider-Man on the first fight. Now, this is a fight I massively fuck up. So what you're supposed to do, because this node has the special burst lockdown, is you're supposed to not enter frenzy. What do? Oh, I parry heavy off the start of the fight twice, obviously. I don't know what I was thinking. When I looked at the fight, I was like, oh, all I have to do is not activate Frenzy, and he will die long before I get to 20 debuffs. So I'll stop shrugging him off. But no, I activate Frenzy, and then right here, I hit him to him once, which activates a Porker Popper, and then he throws a special attack with 2 more debuffs, so his L2 is unblockable. Now, we are going to shrug off the Power Stings, so that I could have thrown a special there. But because of our evade counter, he's obviously not able to evade and inflict additional ones on us. But yeah, that fight was just not played well. I did evade the first 2 hits of the L2, but I took the rest to the face. Now, going back and looking on that fight, triggering Frenzy is completely fine. There's nothing wrong with it as long as you have skill boosts. And I did not put on skill boosts. So what would have happened is, because I had guaranteed crits, that L2 probably would have gotten me between 2 and 2.5 bars of power, and then I throw that second L2, and he just dies. That's what would have happened. But because I did not change them from the tech boost, I took an L2 to the face. But luckily, that's Moleman's last fight. Now we are going to go in for our last fight, which is going to be the Nimrod on Path 4, Section 2 on the second node. And I did know that he would go permanently unblockable. I just didn't think it would be so early. Like, he's going to go permanently unblockable almost instantly. So obviously you start with the heal block on this node, which means that you only have to get 2 debuffs on you, and he doesn't put 2 debuffs on you when you throw specials against him. I've never fought, before today, I had never fought Nimrod. Well, technically this was last night. Before yesterday. I had not fought Nimrod in Alliance War before. But I did do his month of event quests. Right here, I'm going to take a few hits to the face, and then I'm going to take a few more hits to the face, and then I'm going to take an L1 to the face, which is awesome. He got 7 combo against me, and that's not the only time he reaches 7 combo against me in this fight. But because I am Dr. Doom, I'm still at 95% health, despite being heal blocked. So basically, I do not have the slightest clue how to evade his L1. Genuinely not a clue. So what I do in this fight is I go for the most insane and risky intercepts while he is at or below, while he is below 2 bars. I'm going to go for a crazy intercept every single time, and I actually land them every time. I don't miss a single intercept in this fight, which is beautiful. I'm going to do it again right here. And I should have just thrown that L2 because it wouldn't have given him power, and then I could have hit into his block. But I didn't throw it in time, so I really had the option there of throwing it into his block to push him to an L2 or hitting him in the face. And I'd rather guarantee he gets to an L2 than risk him throwing the L1 while I was dashing back to throw the L2. So right there, I take 8 hits to the face before he dies. So I was in the middle of a combo, and I actually had an input dropped. So I was doing medium, light, 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 medium, and only my medium happened. So I don't know what happened there because I definitely did not mess up my inputs. It was a dropped input. But that is actually the end of the war. And this war was crazy. So they, ASR started off horrible, and they died 4 times in their first 75 fights. And when we got to 75, we were at 1 death. So it should have been a win. And then I was playing Call of Duty for like 2 hours. I was playing Black Ops 3 Zombies. And when I went back to the game, we no longer had a lead. It was tied 4-4. And then by the time I went to bed, they died 2 more times, and we were up 6-4. So I was like, okay, we're winning this war. So I went to bed, woke up a few hours ago, and the score was 7-6. So they died 1 more time. We died 2 more times. They were at 149 attacker kills. We were at 136. But already at 149, they had a faster Alliance War time than us by like 1,300 seconds. So they're probably going to beat us by over 2,000 in this war. So we lost this war because we died 1 additional time. We died to a Green Goblin boss. For some reason, I don't know why, we decided to use Warlock, which is just insane. I don't understand that choice. Corvus. Corvus was not banned. Their 3 bans were Hercules, Ghost, and Torch. There is no reason to use Warlock for that fight. It is just stupid. No one brought Corvus. It's not like there were no Corvus charges. I mean, I'm sure there weren't easy Corvus charges, but realistically, to be a better option than Warlock for that fight, 1 charge is enough. Literally, 1 Corvus charge would have been enough to be a better option than Warlock for that fight. And I'm sure you could have found 1 Corvus charge. But anyways, it doesn't matter because it's not like I can blame just that 1 person for dying and losing us the war, because there were 6 other people that died. Actually, my battleground did great. We got a donut. Battle Group 2, great job, everyone. You died 0 times, or at least at the time I'm recording this, because we're at 45 attacker kills, and I hope we don't die in our last 5 fights. But yeah, great job, BG2. I don't know. ASR choked hard, and we choked harder. That's literally the only way I can put this. You can't blame it on any one individual person. As an alliance, we just did not play well. and we lost the war because of that, despite the massive lead we had. And that is going to be all. We are now 2-1 on the season, so we'll probably still be in Masters. I think we'll still be in Masters, maybe even top 10 Masters because of our low death count. I don't know. But yeah, we more than doubled our death count for the season in just one war. So we are still at 0 deaths personally, and my PSR this season, I did actually have 5 fights this war, which it makes me 13 out of 13 or 100%. And my deathless streak is up to 42 fights. So that's going to be all from me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Just really unfortunate. Bye.